we're an LGBTQ couple. Like we don't have all the parts we need.
What we have is we each have a uterus and we can try to
Four ovaries.
four ovaries and possibilities.
So when I met Lisa, we definitely said two things right away. We said we were going to be together forever, and we said we were going to have kids. So like we knew that we were going to get married and have kids like from the age of 18.
But I didn't know like how we were going to do it. We didn't have the means because at the time there barely any IVF coverage.
We were just like, okay, like we'll get there. We'll get there. You know, a big part of it was the financials. And so thank goodness at some point in our journey, you know, they announced that they would be offering fertility benefits through Progeny. And so we were like, holy cow, this is it. We can do it. We're going to have coverage. We had been dabbling in and on and off with looking for donors. We knew we wanted someone who was Italian to match our heritage. You know, someone who had similar interests. And so after we found out about the coverage shortly after, I had been looking at work one day randomly because my coworker asked me, like, how's that going? And there he was. I was like, oh my God, where did he come from? Here he is. I hadn't looked in a while. I sent him to Lisa. She was like, yes, yes. And we called them. We ordered like 8 vials.
And early on, we did talk about what is called reciprocal IVF. I don't think we knew the name of it then, but I was like, wouldn't that be cool too? Like, I could carry yours, you could carry mine.
So I had my first IUI in July of 2020, negative. Second IUI, August of 2020, negative. We were going to run out of funds on our fertility coverage and we were going to run out of sperm. I always had this thought like that I wanted to have siblings close in age. And so we knew that we wanted to retrieve for both of us as soon as we could. So like Lisa had her retrieval. She got one normal embryo. When I had my retrieval in September, I got no normal embryos. So I did another retrieval in November. So like we went right through. And then I was able to get two normal embryos. And so the goal was that I was going to get pregnant first and then we were going to transfer to Lisa. So unfortunately, that embryo, even though it was normal, did not develop past 6 weeks. So that resulted in a miscarriage. So we gave it some time and then I had my transfer for our son Leo August 5th of 2021. But then that December of 2022, we tried to transfer Lisa's embryo, thinking we wanted two kids under two, you know, close in age. And it was a 6AA, which we later learned is the most delicate of all embryos. It's already hatching. So, like in the transfer process, if the littlest thing knocks it, like it can throw it, I guess. And unfortunately, she didn't get pregnant. And then we took some time and space from that and then kind of began a very long, arduous journey for Lisa to try to get an egg. And since then, she has not gotten any embryos.
So at my last retrieval, I was done. I literally was like, if anybody tries to talk to me about this, we're gonna have a huge problem. Like their life is gonna be in danger.
That's
Um, and then our doctor called and he was like, I want to tread lightly here. And I was like, you better tread lightly. You know, it just wasn't in the cards for me to do another retrieval, have a biological child. Then it was like that other process, like, yep, okay, this is I'm going to keep going and keep turning the pages, you know, of this grief. And, you know, we'll get to the end of the book eventually.
So then we did switch back to me this past year, and I haven't gotten any normal embryos.
So we're both looking at each other like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
this is now the definition of insanity. And I will say, the, oh, but you'll try again. Oh, but you'll have one next time. Well, you have the both of you. Well, Michelle could always try again. And I was just like, what?
I think we realized there's so much unknown about this process and fertility. Now we're at the point where it's like Lisa just turned 44. I'll be 44 in August. Our son just turned 4. And it's like we have one more vial, right? We've got maybe two more cycles of benefits. And it's like, do we try again just to give him a sibling? Or do we just accept that this is what our family is meant to look like? And I think it's like we definitely see the bright side. And like if we do just have a smaller family, like all the good that we can give him, and then the idea of what family could look like differently.
You know, we're so blessed. And to even say that we have this wonderful child, that is like, you know, if anybody understands the miracle of conceiving a child, it's those of us who have gone through IVF.
Yeah.